Hello and welcome to Find Your Reality, DSU's sit-down talk show that highlights one of the nation's premier HBCUs. Today's guest is our brand new provost, Dr. Tony Allen.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Good. I hear you're a Colonial.
I am, and I am now a Hornet,
All
and
right.
so are you.
And so am I,
All
following
right.
your footsteps.
Exactly, the right way. So I've been seeing you around campus, and I'm looking forward to a really exciting academic school year.
Me too.
And so are our faculty and staff. And so let's get started, all right?
Okay.
So we're living in challenging times with economics, globalization, and even social issues, all which affect how our colleges and universities function. So what is your top priority as you transition into this new role?
My top priority is student success. I think at our institution we have two primary missions. The first is to train an educated citizenry. And I think education and citizen, both those terms are equally important. Obviously, we have a world-class institution, excellent students like yourself.
Thank you.
But also come from traditionally underrepresented groups. To be able to take those students and make them good citizens as well, so a high-quality education, but also with the knowledge of serving as they have been served, taking their knowledge and skill set into the real world so they can pull others up and they have similar opportunities is my number one goal.
Great. And so as a land-grant institution, what do you see to be our responsibility to current students as well as future students?
I call it being of service. I think it's pretty important that we take our assets as an institution outside the campus walls. Our primary asset, obviously, are our faculty, staff, and students. So to have you all in experiential opportunities, we're actually learning by doing, but also serving the community around you. And when I say around you, that could be the local community here in Dover, it could be more regional, or it could be across the world. Being able to take those talents and really bring forth those things that are really challenging us in this time period is important for any institution, but particularly for an historically black college university like Delaware State.
All right, and so let's talk more about being of service. What are some ways that you intend to engage the faculty and students in this process more effectively?
The institution is a grand one with a rich history, 126 years now, and it is my intention to make sure that we are out and about showcasing our students when they have opportunities to be of service in their majors, but also serving their community, but also taking our faculty and making sure that they are connected to the local community as well. It's a little bit more than simply being able to teach a class or do independent research, all of which is wonderfully important. But being able to take those talents, whether that be in optics or nursing or teaching education or mass communications, and really going forward and putting those folks in communities that can help benefit that community more thoughtfully is very important. I'll give you a great example. Delaware State produces the greatest number of teachers of color in the state of Delaware. We clearly have a public education reform issue in Delaware. We should be much more part of the process of helping solve those challenges, and we think we have both the faculty, staff, and students to do it, particularly when many of them are in those classrooms. So our ability to really bring forward who we are in the classroom and from an education standpoint is really important. The same is true for nursing, social work, and other activities that are on campus. So my view is take your discipline, think how you apply it to student learning, and then think how you apply that student learning and your research interests to the broader community, such that Del State can be of consequence to how we move Delaware forward.
And that's going to lead into my next question, which has to do with service learning. And so as a public relations student, in one of my upper level courses in a previous year, we worked hand in hand with the Student Veterans Association, and we helped them to come up with a campaign that focused on getting them out into the community and getting their voices and their stories heard. And we also got to reach out to high schools and help to form and create a campaign that was really effective and really got the whole class learning and allowed us to all take a look inside the possible field we want to all study. And so how do you envision DSU becoming a model university for service learning?
That's exactly what I want to be happening across all majors and disciplines at this university. That you are actually taking a real world problem or issue to some people who are thinking about how best to solve it, who sometimes may lack the resources or expertise to do it, and then taking your talents there to move them along. And I don't think in the traditional sense of service learning that it would be simply a volunteer opportunity. I actually think that we should make that core to our academic curricula. So
Right.
extending a service learning requirement for everybody who's a Hornet should be something that we're going to be after, and it's going to be one of my big goals.
So just tell me, where have you been? Where have you been this This is exactly what we need at this school, and I love that you're so hands-on and ready to engage. And so my next question is, technology is changing the way that we teach, and we are so fortunate to have funding from the Bill Gates Foundation to support innovation in our classrooms. How do you envision DSU enhancing the way digital natives like myself are taught?
You know, I'm relying a lot on you all to tell us how you best learn.
That's right.
It is. I am not a digital native. In fact, I'm a digital immigrant. You grew up in all of this.
You're right.
As did my children. And I think it's our opportunity to recognize that people learn differently now. They learn more quickly now. Information is more readily accessible. And the ability to create content that you can put in the classroom and be of substance to how you think about things or absorb information is very important. So my sense is our Center for Teaching and Learning, a lot of the things that Dean Edwards is doing in her college should be expanded across the university so that we all recognize that there are specific issues and things you have to know as a quality college student for sure. But how you absorb and learn that information from us should be relevant to how you will take it on in the world. So I do see it being our intent to really keep up with the times in the same way that my mom learned differently than I, and my son learned differently than I have as well. I think the next generation, we have to be prepared to really be preparing you for the real world. And if we're not looking at how you all consume content and then how you push that content forward to advance your careers, we're doing you a disservice.
Spot on. And so at Delaware State, I like to think of it as a small campus with one big, huge family. And one of the most important pieces of that family are the faculty who help us students. So because faculty is so important, what is one big message you would like to get out there to them?
Well, you know, I think we have a world-class faculty, and I truly believe that. I think the things that they are doing, both with respect to teaching and learning, but also with respect to research, rivals lots of institutions in this country, and is a really bright star for the HBCU community in particular. What I want them to be thinking about very deliberately is how they take those core talents and extend them more broadly, again, outside of the campus walls. So I think you've heard me say that a couple times today. It's very important that folks know that Delaware State is not, it should not be a hidden gem.
Not at all.
It is both of quality as it relates to the students we serve and of quality as it relates to the faculty and staff that serve them. And I will be beating that drum pretty loudly, but also pushing them in that direction, that they will continue to be more and more engaged in the broader community around them, which is the same expectation I have.
All right, and I will hold you to it, and I hope
Okay.
you keep holding me to that. And so before we go, what's one thing that you would like to share with us that's very important, that you just want everybody to know about yourself, Mr. Dr. Tony Allen?
I don't come at this role lightly. My background, first generation college student of Delaware, and understand that the only reason I've gotten to the places I've gotten is because other people have pushed me along and challenged me and held me accountable. And I've always believed that if I ever had the opportunity to do the same for others at a higher level on a grander scale, I would jump into it with both feet. And I think there's not a better fit for me as it relates to that than Delaware State University. So I come at this full of passion and energy, but also from a very personal place to really make this institution the greatest it can be.
All right. That is a great message. And so I want to just thank you for coming out and
Thank you.
speaking today. And we are so excited about all the new things that you are going to implement and change within this campus. This was Find Your Reality with Dr. Tony Allen, our amazing brand new provost, and we hope to see you all soon.